What are teens today not ready to hear? That dick pic you sent got screenshotted and sent to 5 other people. And they are still saving your nudes, even if you sent them on Snapchat and think they can't screenshot without your knowledge. They can. Take it from a millennial who knows from experience. Screen recorder has entered chat. You won't feel different when you're older or have kids. You'll just be you. It's weird. Life as a continued experience is weird. When I was much younger I would always think about all the ways I'd be different when I was older, but I'm still just me. Somewhat wiser and taller, but still the same me I've always been. It's strange, but I think I've enjoyed getting older and growing to know myself better. I might as well be teenage me in a grown-up suit pretending I'm an adult. That's what it feels like sometimes. Haha, totally what it feels like. Everything you do as a teenager will be cringe to your children. Everything I did as a teenager is cringe to me tbh. I, teenager, cringe at myself as I do things. To the ones who ride the public bus in my city, specifically, nobody else wants to hear whatever TikTok you're watching. Buy some headphones. My dad's a teenager. Anything less than 80% is not worth listening to. School has a system in place to keep you from falling behind. Life doesn't. Yup. Life will run you over if you fuck around. And even if you have your shit together, you could be one financial crisis away from losing it all. For fucking sure. Been run over so many times at this point I've proposed to the asphalt, but still no response. Edit. It's beyond depressing. This is my most upvoted comment ever, but hey, xera lol. Asphalt 2 has commitment issues. It's okay to be a virgin at 18. Apparently this isn't a big thing for Gen Zs. A few years ago I worked for a university and we got access to the Youth Health Study, 2018. The majority of first year university students surveyed said they were virgins and even more interestingly rated their interest in sex as low. The stats showed young millennials and Gen Zs had way less sex and drank way less alcohol than older millennials and Gen X. By the way, for the other Zennials out there, 1980 to 84, the comparative stats basically said we were a bunch of drunk fornicators. Our stats were the worst. Drugs ain't a game. I work with teens and none of them take me seriously when I tell them to never ever mess with pills, even when I list all the people I knew at their age who are now dead from opiate abuse and dots. I was a $100 a day crack whore 12 years sober. I want to scream at all kids, don't do drugs. Being dope sick sucks. Being friends with total losers just because they have crack will bring you down so fast. Sitting in the bathtub crying because you blew away 10 years of your life sucks. Being controversial isn't the same as being interesting. Oh, and you're gonna wish you learned not to be a dick. Turns out social skills are useful post-college. Contrarianism isn't wisdom. Just because you fucked up does not mean you're a fuck up. Building on this, everybody fucks up royally at some point. A sign that you're in the right environment, whether that's personally or professionally, will be people forgiving and working with you to get better. Things will likely take significantly longer to achieve than you think. And getting good at stuff will take time. Sometimes lots of time. And sometimes, you'll spend lots of time on something, and you still won't get good at it. That's the human experience. Some things you struggle with will come very easily to others, but some things they struggle with will come very easily to you. Don't be mad that someone possesses skills you don't, and don't be a jerk for possessing skills that many other people don't. Also, life is not like a video game where you just keep leveling up. Sometimes, what you built will fall apart, and you will have to repeatedly do the same thing over and over. You thought you learned a new useful skill? Guess what? That technology is outdated. You have to once again learn something new. Thought you became physically fit and active? Well, COVID-19 lockdowns hit and you have gained some pounds. Thought you resolved some issues with your family and on good terms? Well, new issues have popped up. However, don't beat yourself up about it. This is normal. And with experience, you will also become more adept at facing and resolving problems. So each time the same problem repeats, you will be better at solving them. Not everybody can be an internet sensation. Somebody has to drive the dump truck. And sanitation is a pretty solid business too. Yeah, don't believe the guidance counselor saying you have to go to college and then saying something like you don't want to be a garbage man slash plumber, do you? The garbage man and the plumber make bank with no student loan debt. Garbage man is a city job here that pays to start $25/HR and you get benefits and union membership. I'll gladly be a fucking garbage man, lol. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Cut back on the sugary shit now. Take care of your teeth now. Start working out now. You don't have to be a bodybuilder and look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just be active. Now is the time to get out and do a bunch of crazy shit. But at the same time, remember that whatever you do now you pay for 20 years later somehow some way. And this can be taken in a good way or a bad way. Don't want to take care of your teeth now? Have fun dropping $30,000 on your teeth like I had to. Not exercising or eating right. Have fun with that quadruple bypass that my father just had. My girlfriend's parents are older than my parents, but because they do those things they haven't had nearly as much hospital visits as my parents have. By comparison, my parents are falling apart and they're only in the 50s. My girlfriend's parents are in their 70s and objectively are healthier. The big difference? Early in the morning. Every morning those two are downstairs working out, hitting the weights and machines for a solid hour or two. Do you want to speed and act a damn fool on the road? Have fun when you have to pay for your own insurance and nobody wants to insure you to drive a fucking Honda Civic for no less than $350. Like me. Even my fucking car. It was my dream car and it still is the car I would be driving today had just taken care of the goddamn thing. But no, it started leaking oil and I didn't keep up with it or take it in and now I have to drive a goddamn Civic when I used to drive a Lexus. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. One day you two will be old and uncool and it'll happen faster than you think. When I was like 25 and stepbrother chuckled at me and said nobody says "stoked anymore," I had that moment for the first time. The moments have only increased since. I refuse to give up on stoked. I still say rad. Just because it's new to you doesn't mean it's new. I majored in literature in college. I teach now, and I remember 18 to 20-year-old me being fascinated by how human nature stayed the same from hundreds of years ago. At that age, I couldn't fathom that those old people actually made sex jokes or had certain technologies. Reading across the ages really made me wiser and hip to the fact that humans are basically all the same. We just have different settings we grow up in. Same thing across country/cultural lines. I remember when I traveled to India and the culture shock was super jarring. Felt like I had teleported to a different universe. Then when we were driving around Agra I saw a group of teenage boys cracking up and pointing. Those fuckers had drawn the most glorious Viennese dick that I had ever seen on the wall in chalk. Doesn't matter if you live in India, Germany, Egypt or the USA, everyone draws and laughs at Dixel Mayo, the great unifier. 10 years from now, no one will care about how many viewers you had on TikTok. Also, those 10 years are not a long time. It's tomorrow. Seriously though. It may be the millennial in me, but 2012 feels like last week despite having gone through college, 2 jobs, getting married, and having a child in that time span. You're closer to being the older person in any given setting than you think. And by old I mean like 30. Got nieces and nephews just starting kindergarten? Haha. Blink and they're starting college. I'm old aka 30s. Some college punk called me sir the other day. It is perfectly fine to not know something. It's okay to not know. Stop shaming and bullying people because you learned about something before they did. Social media is not the real world, and acting like it is will only make people not want to be around you. Edit. I'm not talking about ignorance. I'm talking about laughing when people ask a question in class, the "how do you not know that" crowd, the mocking of people into never asking another question out of fear of ridicule and humiliation. Tell that to the adults too. Today's eyebrows are yesterday's clown macup and tomorrow's regret fodder. Today's eyebrows are laminated. When I was a young whippersnapper, we did not consider Elmer's glue sticks to be a cosmetic product. Silly us. As you get older you just keep realizing how dumb you were last year. Every day I realize how stupid I was the day before. I actually like this because it means I'm always improving. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. Ernest Hemingway. The end. Thanks for watching.